Subscribe to my channel right now for more gripping tales of triumph and payback. Over 3.5 decades, I trudged through brightly lit corridors beneath humming fixtures that constantly reminded you of exhaustion. Night upon night in New Jersey medical centers, I poured my energy, hours, and heart into mending unknown patients while single-handedly bringing up my kids. I skipped celebrations for their births, holiday dawns, and endless bedtime hugs. I pinned every snapshot of them inside my locker, a silent prompt that each inhale during those never-ending duties was dedicated to them. Then, at the gathering meant to celebrate everything, they labeled me useless. Right there amid my fellow staff, my pals, and those I'd consider kin, that term sliced the atmosphere like a surgical blade. Yet they were unaware of my secret. They had no clue that, for several months, I'd been discreetly plotting a plan. A compact, precise form of retribution. Payback, sure, but not the vicious type. The sort that lets a woman recapture her identity and strength. If you've ever sensed erasure in the home you constructed brick by brick, this narrative will seep into your thoughts. Smash that like if you trust karma tracks down every doorstep, and stick around since this could be the ultimate gratifying comeback story you've encountered. I'm Deborah, and for 35 years, my uniform served as my shield. Not the neat, vibrant ones from TV shows, but the worn-out Navy versions that stuck to my skin after countless launderings and observed both wonders and sorrows. My sols memorized each section of those medical passageways, from the critical care unit where I grasped fading grips to the delivery area where I greeted fresh whales into existence. I was just 23 when James departed. Michael was 5, Lisa not quite 3. I was carrying our third. But a fortnight after he exited with separation documents and a spineless message faulting me for overly concerning myself with others, I miscarried the infant. The cruelty stung profoundly. The guy who ditched his household charged me with excessive compassion for outsiders. The ensuing period was pure endurance in its harshest state. My days merged into night duties and cafeteria brews. From 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Return home, nap 3 hours, then rise to prepare meals and escort the children to classes. I mastered existing on stimulants and resolve by themselves. Some evenings I'd linger in the supermarket at 2 a.m., attire still reeking of antiseptic, comparing grain package costs while my joints throbbed with ache. Each discount seemed like triumph, every minor economy a stride toward improved circumstances for them. I never grumbled, not a single time. I resolved to demonstrate to James, to society, and perhaps chiefly to my offspring that a parent's devotion could forge whole destinies. I aimed for them to grasp that giving up comforts held purpose, that diligent effort wasn't degrading. It was holy. I misjudged their comprehension. When Michael hit 16, I'd scrimped for ages to purchase him a pre-owned Honda Civic. Nothing glossy, nothing fresh, but dependable and solid. I tied the keys with a crimson bow I'd kept from prior holiday wraps. His face shifted to letdown before I completed my brief talk on self-reliance and protection. This is it, he stated dully. William's father got him a BMW. This seems like what impoverished folks operate. The remark struck my core, yet I grinned past the hurt. It's trustworthy, I murmured gently. It'll transport you wherever required. Sure, he grumbled, to the low-income spot in the lot. Then he snatched the keys and departed. Lisa, at 17, fared no improved. Employment at a shopping center store had introduced her to allure, and abruptly all aspects of our residence shamed her. The flaking walls, the aged vehicle, even my presence. She'd hunch low in the front seat during pickups. Mom, can't you operate something ordinary? Other kids' guardians appear prosperous. You seem, she halted abruptly, but that hesitation conveyed it all. The reality. She wasn't incorrect. I was financially strained because every penny earned funneled to them. Higher education funds, outings, orthodontics, dance gowns, sports retreats, whatever it was. I approved it all, even if it required mending my jacket for the 6 cold seasons straight, or sewing my tattered uniforms manually. They perceived not devotion. They viewed lack. The market turned into a war zone. I charted each pathway, each discount, each voucher timing. It was a tactical art from necessity. But to them, it was mortification. "Mom, please avoid shaming us with those vouchers," Lisa would murmur, cheeks flushed as I passed the clerk a pile of paper reductions. Michael would linger back, limbs folded, gazing elsewhere than me. "We're not destitute, right?" he'd inquire afterward. "Destitute perhaps in funds, but never in affection, bravery, or loyalty." They simply failed to distinguish. Holidays always challenged. I turned extending each buck into a pursuit to offer them something memorable. Extra hours for go meals, handcrafted ornaments. One holiday when Lisa was 19, I discovered a fine sterling chain with a blue gem drop at a property auction. It demanded 2 weeks of meal allowances, but I envisioned her gaze sparkling upon wearing it. On holiday morn, she unwrapped the container, peeked within, then flung it on the sofa. "Next year, skip it," she declared, browsing her device. "You never provide quality items." The space stilled. Even Michael appeared uneasy. My neck tensed, but I remained mute. Quietude turned my soul's shield. I convinced myself maturity would bring insight, that they'd recognize all I'd silently offered. That awareness would flourish over time. But I erred there as well. The period dissolved. Michael relocated to New York City, his contacts sparse save when requiring aid. Funds for initial payments, joint signing for rentals, assistance resolving monetary chaos. Each dialogue morphed into a deal, a professional swap cloaked in courteous speech. Lisa remained nearer geographically, but distant emotionally. She began seeing William, whose kin ran premium auto lots, and abruptly every meal at my place turned into a tacit regret. "My mom's always labored diligently," she'd utter pleasantly, then murmur softly, "She's just poor with finances." Poor with finances, me. The lady who'd remained vigilant tallying invoices like invocations, nourishing 2 thankless appetites on pure tenacity. Evenings proved most isolated. Post 12-hour stints brimming with fluids, demise, and marvels, I'd arrive home, perch on my mattress border, and attempt to identify when affection had soured to let down. I'd nurtured grown-ups with drive, yet lacking empathy. Such sorrow evades diagnostic records, but scars equivalently. Even in the facility, peers observed my increased reserve. My companion Alicia, who'd labored alongside in critical care for 15 years, attempted wellness checks amid beverage pauses. "How fare Michael and Lisa?" she'd query. I'd bob my head, fixating on my mug. "Okay," I'd answer. "Just okay." What more to utter? That my boy viewed me as a cash machine? That my girl evaded voicing my occupation publicly? That I'd bestowed all and yet become a load? No. Preferable to lock that verity behind a weary grin. Upon learning the facility arranged a farewell event in my tribute, I pondered. At last, perhaps this would illuminate the close of those prolonged vigils. Staff from all sections desired attendance. I prepared an address brimming with thanks and poise. Diane from management inquired if my offspring wished to contribute remarks. They'd feel privileged, I responded instinctively, envisioning the beaming approvals I'd witnessed in fellow guardians at similar occasions. I yearned to think mine would regard me similarly. For weeks, I permitted optimism. I selected a gentle azure gown over uniforms, arranged my locks, rehearsed phrases. I figured perhaps, merely perhaps, Michael and Lisa would view me not as disgrace, but as the lady who sustained their realm. I pictured them beaming in the crowd, applauding fiercest, but I ought to have recognized otherwise. The eve prior to the event, Lisa phoned. For an instant, I believed she might utter warmth. "Perhaps I'm proud, or even I adore you." Instead, she questioned what to don. I merely wished to appear suitable for potential photographers. Michael messaged verifying timing, noting he'd linger solely an hour due to evening commitments. Nonetheless, I persuaded myself this marked advancement. They attended. They'd support me. I aired again. The farewell gathering embodied my visions and nightmares simultaneously. The facility's primary meeting hall was adorned with images spanning my 35 years of duty. Me as a novice caregiver, youthful and hopeful. Me accepting honors for exceptional client attention. Me guiding fresh hires who'd turn into dearest allies. My peers packed the area. Alicia delivered a talk on training half the critical staff. Dr. Thompson, my overseer for 2 decades, discussed my commitment and kindness. Doors from birthing told of lingering beyond hours to aid twin births in a storm. For 2 hours, I sensed the figure I'd long my kids to perceive. Michael and Lisa entered tardily chic, as official tributes concluded. Michael donned a costly outfit I'd not viewed prior. Likely Lisa acquired via William's kin. Lisa appeared radiant in attire exceeding my biannual clothing budget. They posed for shots, chatted lightly with my associates, enacted dutiful offspring. I started unwinding, believing this might differ. Perhaps amid those appreciating my labor, they'd behold their parent anew. Then arrived the addresses. Diane passed the mic to Michael initially. He rose, assured and refined, embodying the thriving youth I'd toiled to shape. I wish to appreciate everyone for celebrating my mom this evening, he started, and my chest expanded with joy. She's truly committed her existence to caregiving. The ensuing halt should have alerted me. But truthfully, he proceeded, tone holding that relaxed harshness I'd identified. Mom wasn't truly parental. She nurtured patients, not us. The hall hushed. My grin solidified on my visage, my pulse pounding within. This was my farewell. These my associates, allies, those honoring me. And my boy was what exactly? But he continued. Misunderstand not, she's excellent with ill folks, but for her own offspring, we largely fended alone. How parent kids when absent? I detected a sharp intake. Likely Alicia. I met Dr. Thompson's gaze, blending bewilderment and vicarious shame. Yet I persisted grinning, applauding, as alternatives escaped. This my child. This my highlight. Then Lisa seized the mic. She was intoxicated, evident in shiny orbs, subtle speech drag, but inebriated or not, her forthcoming words would linger eternally. My sibling's overly kind, she stated, tone echoing the mute space. Frankly, she's merely a solitary elderly woman who squandered her days in uniforms. She believes aiding unknowns renders her heroic, but never mastered family care. The quiet roared. I sensed 50 gazes upon me, awaiting my response to this open degradation. Some associates appeared furious for me, others embarrassed. A handful avoided my sight. I maintained grinning. I maintained applauding since 35 years, professionally instilled poise amid stress. Even when stress stemmed from my progeny, dismantling me before all significant. Thank both, I uttered upon her mic return. Thanks for your views. I recall not else spoken, not a remaining event. Recall handshakes, felicitations while sensing submersion. Recall my kids exiting prematurely, apart, sans farewell. Recall motoring home in my worn Chevy as my cosmos tilted beneath. That evening, in my vacant dwelling with farewell tokens strewn, something core altered. For 35 years, I'd functioned believing affection equaled yielding, parenthood placing offspring first, fine guardians bestowing all sans expectation. But my offspring proved my devotion, yielding, existence worthless to them. Worse, I embarrassed, failed, solitary elders squandering days. Well, if so perceived, perhaps deliver precisely desired. A parent absent obstruction. I slumbered not that night. I perched in kitchen sipping brew, observing dawn gild my yard, and decided altering all. For 35 years, I'd adhered to norms my kids disregarded. I'd forfeited ease, aspirations, tomorrow, trusting eventual gratitude for offerings. But thanks isn't gained by excess giving. It's granted or withheld, and I received none. By Monday dawn, I'd contacted 3. Attorney, property broker, fiscal consultant urging portfolio spread for years. Desire house sale, I informed John, broker who'd vended it to me 22 years prior. Swiftly feasible. Specific cause, Deborah? Market suboptimal now. Relocating, I stated, to Florida. Seek new beginning. Property vended in 3 weeks. Valued little. Humble 3-bed in laborer area. But mine, cleared via era of overtime, prudent planning. Post fees, levies, sufficient for modest seaside unit plus remainder. Then the calls spinning my kids' minds, if aware. Phone Rutgers nursing program. Wish scholarship set up, I informed fundraising. For solo moms seeking nursing quals. Splendid. Amount considered? $200,000. The line quietude valued each cent. My reserves. 35 years stashing bits, forgoing meals, attire till disintegration. Denying self for kids, yes. Funds intended inheritance for Michael, Lisa. Likely anticipated. Now aiding ladies akin me. Ladies' night working, all yielding for kin. Deserving hero status over shame. Fund titled Deborah Sullivan Memorial for Nursing Superiority. Not deceased, but prior self living for kids not expired. I disclose not sale. Not relocation. Merely boxed existence, engaged movers, vanish from life centered on their wants. Sarasota unit compact, yet ideal. One bed, one bath, gulf-facing deck. Equipped to please self. Not cast-offs or utilitarian, but joy-bringing pieces. Acquired wall art, deck flora, long-desired volumes. First in 35 years, self-living. Call arrived 3 weeks post-settle. Mom. Michael's tone tense, baffled. Visited house. Sale sign sold. Happenings? Balcony seated, dolphin watching waves. Sipping pricier brew than ever permitted. Relocated, I stated plainly. Relocated? Where? Why untold? To Florida. Untold as you've clarified my choice is irrelevant to you. What mean? Naturally concerned. Your parent. Parent lingered amid us. Laden 35 years past, 3 weeks reflection. Am I? I queried. Since farewell. You declared I never parented you. Raised patients, not kids. So granted desired. Existence sans solitary elders squandering uniform days. Mom, seriously. Party. Humor attempt. Humor. I echoed alien. Deemed degrading me before associates amusing. Quietude extended till throat clear. Perhaps tactless, but can't vanish. What if need? Truth beneath dismissal years. Love not needed. Needed accounts, childcare, issue resolving, error fixing. Need what, Michael? Well, Lisa weds next. Aid wedding, house by eyeing. Hope cosign. Laughed I. Not broken bitter. Genuine freed seeing jest. Cosign post public non-parent declare. Different. Personal that. Business this. No, Michael. Repercussions. Lisa rang 2 days on. Tone high panic. Mom issue? Michael said Florida move untold. House sold. Basement items? Family holiday? Respect? I retort. 35 years exhausting for your tomorrows? Called solitary elder life waste? Drunk he. Drunk utter sober think. Precisely always thought me. Not, perhaps severe, but overreact. Can't sever hurt feelings. Not severing. Choosing life you urged. Self-focus over burden viewing kids. Not burden. Then why 15 years insufficient declare? Ashame my labors? Treated yields personal flaw. Ensuing quietude sufficed reply. William wed. She eventual small desperate. House down aid need. Counted you. Counted solitary elder uniform waste. Mom, please. Please what, Lisa? Please fund ashamed daughter's style. Continue yield keep, not so. Precisely. Done. 6 months passed. 6 balcony brew dawns, horizon water sunrise. 6 reading, strolling, shelter volunteer, neighbor friends viewing Deborah jersey intriguing. Not walking fun source. Watercolor learned. Book group joined. Dating retired educator Joseph. Nursing tales fascinating, not priority misplace. Flowers brings, doors opens, remarkable calls. 35 years since remarkable uttered. Kids calls rarer, desperater. Michael's loan sans cosign deny. Lisa wed plans finance snag. Guilt, rage, haggle, threaten tried. None sways. Week past, Lisa lengthy mail all destroy selfishness, futures, bonds, stability. Ended worse mom. Lives ruin, never forgive. Printed, fridge placed beside dolphin pick morn sea. Thanks for scholarship get. 3 kids solo mom Rutgers second year. Kids 35 years taught irrelevant. 6 months learned wrong. Matter to future nurses scholarship. Matter Joseph Sunset Beach handhold. Matter shelter tail wag dogs. Matter book ladies character debate Tuesday seat save. Chiefly matter self. This morn balcony dolphins serve play. Profound realize. Anger gone. Hurt. Disappoint. Approval desperate not. Simply liberated. Liberated give all receive none weary loop. Liberated love weakness viewing ache constant. Liberated groundwork woman sacrifice alone kids respect earn belief. Phone vibrates Michael text. Likely plea emergency mask. Glance a side set. Coffee sip more. Sun pink gold sky paint. Dolphins wave dance. Coffee ideal. Morn tranquil. Life finally post. 35 years mine.